His best map?
His so-called. According to him, this
According
is
to him,
his
his best map. I would say the same is true for Ponalone. Ponalone is
Okay.
always a highlight reel on Dust2. So this is a squad that really could do some damage. Shots being rung down mid, and Boopy's actually going to get his dome rung in turn. They're moving out.
B hop
Crashy's
backwards jump into B. Crashes. I love it.
bold strategy. Keep your head tucked, I guess, is the thought, and they're going to actually get on towards site. So enough damage was done to force these CTs back and confirm a bomb plant. This is a different beast once that bomb is down. The B site is such a tough nut to crack. They'll be moving two of the CTs through tunnels, trying to get that flank on, trying to get a different dimension to their presence. But Kurokami's actually in the smoke. He's so aggressive. He could catch Ponalone out, and he pushes through here, and that's the frag onto Ponalone, who's boobied to actually do the deed. But now they know where both are coming from, and it could just be an absolute blender as they try and move out on towards site. These pistols need to find their targets immediately, and while Reeks will find one, he will quickly be silenced. It's all on DJ, who has a kit at the least, but has a smoke and so much to do. The smoke will drop, and he's just going to go for the defuse, but the odds of him getting through are minimal, and Booby will lay him low with the second knife kill of the tournament.
Wow. That,
We haven't seen a knife since the first map of the tournament.
I don't think I have either. Yeah, I mean, I had the privilege of casting the Cobb Goblins on this map yesterday. And I think it was Ponalone a lot of times at back B plat, kind of working around by himself. Right. That was the difference maker on this Cobb Goblin CT side. So that's what I'm looking for here.
So there was, so when we had Dust2 last night, nothing had a off the top rope from from A plat down towards elevator knife kills. That was pretty unreal. But that's the third knife kill then of the tournament. And Crashy's starting out nicely here, grabbing a couple of quick kills. Crashy's and Booby just making sure there's not a lot of potential for damage here. It's just base USP, so you can't imagine they're going to get much. And the answer is they're going to get nothing. Kohler is now last alive. Crashy is the only one who's even really vulnerable to this USP, and there should be no chance that the Danger Noodle Bears, I like the name change, could do much damage here.
Oh man, I just noticed that. The whole CT side right here, I think, is going to hinge upon how they're going to adjust. I don't anticipate they have 2 M4s and 3 AUGs, not an op presence that you can really speak of here. You have a scout on Skadoodle on the other side, but point being, they elected a full save that last round. I think it was wise having the utility to come out here and establish an early comeback would be extremely helpful, but 2-0 start. Crashy's first to fall. Reeds finds one with the AUG at long. The quick long take unsuccessful, but a dink does roll out for Reeds, so he's only on 11 HP. Gonna see whether or not that pays dividends for the T's later. Kurokami, on the other hand, eating a frag grenade for about 50 HP, so Skadoodle working this one way on Cat. Just scoping and clearing that car angle. Hazed perched up there towards Goose and DJ watching the cross. This is very, very dangerous territory without solid flashes for the T side. They're gonna double back knowing this. Seb has established a foothold out mid. And, you know, a mid-B split, at least being able to threaten it, keep people honest at their bomb sites is pretty big. Dust2, the big read, is the CT rotator from A. If you can read him towards A, then this mid-B split is much more viable. Ponalone falls, or actually fells Seb. Kurokami and Booby also on the receiving end of some M4 frags. And now it's just Skadoodle in a 1v5. Finds one, 2 taps. DJ at, I guess that's A ramp. Finding another on a Haze, not quite sure how those shots didn't connect for him. 37 HP, Skadoodle, 35 seconds left. 1v3, low HP on Reeds, who is his next challenger.
Sneak a plant out of this.
This could happen.
They're coming up catwalk, though. He's got to get this down immediately. And I think he recognized the situation. I'm not sure they're going to give him enough time, but he does get the C4 down. So from a catastrophic situation, he has made this, at the very least, vaguely viable. They are wrapping around it now, and he's got to isolate the fights, and Reeks will have him before his teammates even come in for the mop-up. So it is quickly cleaned up by the Cobb Goblins. And the Danger Doodle Bears, they don't take the round. Yeah. But bomb plant, 2 drop. It was the bonus round, so they'll have a buy up into this next. Not bad.
But this is the same situation. Going up 2-0 and electing to either lose all the guns in the prior round or keep your MAC-10s and your scouts or whatever has not paid off. And is, I mean, for me at least, I don't remember a single time in this rank-ass combine where it's occurred and benefited the T's at all. So 2-1 now. Are we going to see, what was it, 7-2?
7-2.
Was that the magic
number that we've been seeing quite a bit? But who's to say? I mean, this is a little bit I don't know. I guess I'd say Dust2 is a little bit less streaky of a map, but who knows?
Right.
Madness can happen. Booby has the op now.
Okay.
Is that just spawn-based, you wonder?
It looks like he's out long. I'm actually not sure. Okay,
long.
so yeah,
Now
he
he's back.
definitely went there for the long pick. Probably going to share that back out with somebody else. Anyway, Seb, again over here towards mid, poking around. Trashies with 2 huge frags on Cat. Reitz and DJ were just not ready. No flashbang to speak of. Crashy's just winning his duel. Sometimes in Counter-Strike, it's just about being better. Just having better aim. Just being able to frag, and there it is. Bertier Umalum, 1 kill on a Skadoodle who's trying to cross long with, again, no real utility to speak of. Some deep spawn smokes coming out, but that's too little too late for Skadoodle. Now it's a 2-on-3, though. Kohler and Hazed, 50 seconds remaining. That bomb due to go down any second, but they are both trapped behind this smoke, which should be dissipating, leaving Crashies, who is low on HP, out in no man's land. Fortunately, he escapes just in time. Hazed and Kohler biding their time.
I don't think they want to go for this at this point. I think they were hoping that someone would gift them a frag through that crack towards Goose, but at this point, so much time is ticked off the clock that it's really a major commitment. But they are going to edge out, and there's the frag found first. They've let so much time bleed off, though. They've got to make their move, and there's a player out towards long, going to make this very difficult for them indeed. That's Kirokami with the op. Booby, though, drops, and now there's space forward, but they just have to immediately hop on it, and there's the op coming into play. They're not prepared for this, and it's going to be the quick shots from Kirokami to make sure there's no chance they win the round. They wouldn't have been able to anyway based on time, but they're not even going to find that last bit of damage. The op saves through for the Noodle Bears.
Bears. I think they were holding up on Cat, and it did bleed a lot of time off that clock, but you got to be worried about, 1, a flank coming in, and 2, you already know an op's on the field, right? So going for an A retake is really difficult in Dust2 if you already know that you've conceded long. If you don't have any way to kind of contest that op, or you don't have a smoke. They both had kits, and so ultimately it was like, hey, we know they're low. Let's go for it. Doesn't pay off, but it does break the streak, which is what I'm kind of stoked about. Scout on Kohler, but otherwise very little in the way of weaponry and utility for the Cobb Goblins. Skadoodle finds 1 long pusher. That's DJ who balls, and now it's a 5-on-4. Spam this noodle to help Skadoodle.
Might not just be Skadoodle who needs the help right now, as they're all doing just fine. Tapping away with the USP, they're trying to find something, and Kohler will at least get a consolation prize with the Scout before he is laid low immediately. Now the buy is going to come out from the Cobb Goblins, and this should be where they start to make their case for Dust2. The Doodle Bears have had a pretty easy run through these first few rounds, and that's been fortunate for them. Apart from that one round that got very hairy, where it came down to Kirokami's op at long, they've been comfortable. So this bank is built up a little bit. They've got the op on Ska, they've got the AKs, they've got the utility they need to come up with whatever executes in the books. But on the other side, it is Scope City. 1 op, 4 AUGs, all long-range dual potential.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. I believe yesterday I was watching this map. Cobb Goblins went down pretty hard early. Not too unlike what we're looking at now. DJ dealing some damage to Crashies and certainly pushing him back, or so he thought. And Crashies dishing out some smack talk as well as a headshot. Skadoodle finds 1 onto Reitz. 5-on-3 now. Cobb Goblins hobbling along. Bobbling along.
I'm loving how loud Crashies is getting. He's a younger player, and he wasn't doing this in the previous days, so it's a level of comfort that's coming into it. He's getting more relaxed, and you're seeing it come into the fragging. And that loudness, it's helping. Crashies, though, he's going to be a little exposed here, and that's actually going to be Seb to drop first. Crashies, fortunately, gets around the angle, but Hazed is still here, and he's waiting for the frags. He will wait a little bit too long, as now Kirokami has the flank, and he gets flushed out and killed. Booby was actually on the flank, but Kirokami took him from the front. It's all Pwn alone who's just got to save this off.
Yep, big team effort coming in. Picks across the board for the Danger Doodle Bears. And as we're poised to make this 5-1 in their favor, Cobb Goblins attempting. That's Pwn alone towards long to save this AWP. He will not. Ooh. The Doodle himself on the hunt. He's hungry.
Op violence.
They're gobbling up these frags.
Ho-ho. Gobbling up these goblins? Cobbling up these goblins?
Cobbler, somebody makes shoes.
It is. It is indeed. They're going to need shoes because they keep running away. Pwn just couldn't run fast enough that time. He needs a better cobbler. Yeah, so, 5-1. And another eco out from the Cobb Goblins. And this is a tough map to eco on for the CTs. It's just hard.
Is it?
I feel like it is. Deagles, they've got 2, 3, 4. But they've already lost 1. And the B-side has fallen. And the B-side is presumably going to fall. Oh, Bone Alone has different ideas. That's a quick shot onto Skadoodle. The Opper down, laid low. Unfortunately for Ponalone, he'd love to have that op. He can't quite get around to it. Kirokami is a thorn in their side over on Catwalk. Going to make sure this rotation is not easy. And so the mop-up going to start to come in. It's just DJ and Ponalone who is twirling his deagle and trying to move into a shot, but the flare doesn't quite enable his aim. And they will eventually fall.
I was kind of talking about it a couple rounds back, but I didn't finish my point, and now it's kind of on the precipice of when it would be relevant. So we're at 6-1. Cobb Goblins clearly on the reeling defensive, attempting to, I don't know, maybe change things up, see if they can get an entry a different way than anything else they've been trying. The long has been a liability. B has been easily taken on ecos and otherwise. So I'm just wondering how they adjust. So Cobb Goblins brought their halfback yesterday by moving their op around and getting aggressive on the map. Let's see if they end up doing that at some point here in this game. Skadoodle poised behind a molly to take the head off of anybody peeking that corner, but the smoke goes out. His vision is gone, but Crashy says, don't worry, bro, I got you with 2. Finds entries of his own. DJ and Reitz finally able to get some hot rebuttal coming in for Cobb Goblins, but Kirokami and Seb are still up for the Doodle Bears, and now it's a 2-on-2 situation. Kohler and Ponalone, both healthy, both holding utility kit on Kohler, who is going to get aggressive at lower B, finds a dink on a Kirokami, but it's not enough. 5 HP totaled between Seb and Kiro. The Ponalone armed with his AWP. He has no idea where they're going, where the bomb is, or where his enemies are, so this is going to be a dicey...
This is interesting. He knows they were separated, and he knows he's hearing this utility at B, so he's hoping the player is going to rotate through T-spawn. That's actually what he's watching for, which is very clever. It's very clever. It's not going to work out in this round.
The issue I have with this, though, is that, and this is something that I see a lot in teams of lower levels, but definitely, it doesn't matter. Ponalone dies. Doesn't matter.
Brain's dashed.
Forget I said anything.
His dreams are gone.
Nah, but if you throw that soft fake, just like dumping utility into the bomb site, like, obviously everyone in that situation, all 3 players knew what was going on. And so when you dump your utility like that, and he hears nothing with 50 seconds left on the clock, and you still have to regroup through long, I mean, you're looking at like a 10 or 15 second window minimum where you're not hearing anything in sight and there's no bomb plant. You're going to look towards long naturally. You're going to look towards A and be like, hey, okay, I think that was a fake. I think this guy's moving around. Ponalone with that Mag 7 again. I talked to him in between the games, and I was like, yo, I'm loving the Mag 7 play, and I feel like maybe me encouraging that Mag 7 is just proving a detriment to him, but Bertier Umalum, the CZ Wizard.
CZ Wizard. Is that what the name indicates?
Brunbeast.
Wizardist?
I don't know.
He's going to have an AK up, so now maybe a little potential to do damage, but I think possibly he's just going to want to save this into the max.
Yeah. I mean,
looks like they're going to throw it at the fight.
Yeah, they have like 16K on a couple players. I feel like it's maybe not worth it. It's definitely not 16K. I think that's a 0.
I mean, Crashy says 9,600. Sky is 9,650.
That's all I'm trying to say, man.
They got that cash money.
Yeah.
They've stolen 2 AKs. This is so worth it if they can save it, but Kohler wants to fight. He wants to try for it. It is a 2v3. It's viable, and that's a big kill to find. Now he's just got to advance forward, but Ska's op is watching the angle they have to cross through. Man. And this man has been lights out all game, and he'll continue to be exactly that. Kohler, though, has shots of his own to hit. And now a molly down may just deny it. No smoke to cover it off. This is a lost cause, but he can at least get the op and get out there. But there's a gap. He's exploited it. He's on the bomb. He's going for the defuse. No kit. It's the full 10-second, and they are going to get cleared. Seb coming around just in time to deny it. But Kohler so close to stealing that one away.
Unfortunately, there's 2 things that happen right there. One, the man steps into the molly for a second and just gives his position away. Seb doesn't even need to peek. And then the second, if he hadn't hesitated, if he jumped on it right away, maybe Seb does it. Maybe Seb hesitates, you know? Gives it a second or 2. But Seb, knowing how much time is left on that clock, gets a little lucky that he doesn't have a kit at all. But that was almost a huge clutch from Kohler. Hats off to both those players. They get it done. Seb answering back again into this round with the entry, and Hazed chiming back in, has some support with some flashes, and is able to collect the second. And finally, this is what we've been missing. An early round presence of a numbers advantage for Cobb Goblins. Not only do they have map control virtually everywhere but Cat, But they also have achieved number superiority, which, never mind.
Now it's gone. Booby's low, though.
Gone.
He's just a whisper. One bullet will take him out, but oh, Alone might just have this. He's got the lineup, and there's the frag as well. So advantage taken back, and that's a great kill to prevent Booby from getting into the window position and making life difficult. Ska now all alone in a 1v3. He's got the op. They have plenty of cash, so there's no reason not to go for this. He's certainly going to. And he just wants to do whatever damage he can, maybe get a bomb plant out. There's the first spot. He knows where he is. He can go for the plant, but he's going to go for it all and try and find the round. Now the plant will come in. The rotation is coming in. The CTs want to make sure they get this. There's no sense getting hasty, and that will pay out nicely as Hazed now finds the frag. Flames all over the place. I'll have to wait for those to extinguish, but they do have the kit, so no problemo. The Cobb Goblins claim their second.
And certainly breathing a sigh of relief. I mean, 8-1.
It's not 7-2.
Yeah.
But it is 8-2.
You are correct. It's darn close.
It's darn close.
But it's never a good feeling being that hard at deficit, especially when it's a map that you are supposedly comfortable on. Being down 8-1, like as soon as you grab that second round, I'm sure they're like, oh, we got it. We did it. Let's go play Counter-Strike now, you know? And it's here we are, 8-2. We got a full buy. Let's knock it off mid. Kohler and Ponalone do a little bait and switch. Kohler will fall. Ponalone finds one on a Ska, and now it's a 4-on-4 early op trades back and forth, more or less.
I would say that's a worthwhile exchange, though.
Oh, for sure.
Take the big gun out and Skadoodle. Take the op dimension out. If Crashes can get back, I'm sure he'll pick it up, but I'm not sure that they want to deal with that.
Yeah,
so,
like a CT side situation, losing or having that traded instantly. Any other map, any other situation, I'd be like, well, actually, it's a lot harder to control the map. Yada, yada, yada. No, Ska's nuts, and he's been popping off with entries this whole game. And to have him down this early is huge. I mean, if nothing else, the fear of running into Ska's op around the map is finally gone early on in the round. Able to take some more risky and ballsy angles like DJ peeking over the top of this box. All right, that's a bad example. He's not going to get off there. Ponalone finds one, holding this B, mid to B defense. DJ finally emerging through that smoke and finds one. Ponalone with a second. And now it's Crashies, 1-on-4, no ground into B at all, flanked already by Hazed. And now it's 8-3. Told you, man, breathe a sigh of relief. We're back in this. Let's get it. Let's go, boys. 8-3. Nothing. Silence over there. Humble type, I guess.
They really are quiet right now. You can see some of that noise coming back to answer Crashies. I mean, they've got 3 now. It's starting to look good. They've kept bodies up during those rounds as well, so the money's starting to get a little fresher. Starting to get some stacks that they can maybe lay down at the blackjack table and gamble some rounds a little bit more. This is going to get interesting. The op's still out, but we're seeing the cracks form. Kirakami's got the Mac 10, and they're going to get aggressive as a result. Hazed in towards the pit, but he's got to find a lot of targets and drop them. He will find the first, has opportunity on the second as well, as they are painted into a corner. Ska knocking down the door to try and get them out. All 4 players are stacked in here, and now they'll start to retreat. But hey, they're sticking around. There's tons of utility all around. This is absolute madness out towards long, as the majority of both sides are now here to defend and battle over this one position. Tags coming through. Crashes will find, but they're traded. And this is getting very awkward indeed. Finally, a little bit of space built. There's been so much damage done. Problem is, it's only Ponalone on site, who's now got to fade away to a more passive angle so he can be supported by Kohler.
How did Hazed live so long? What a rat, dude. He's literally like in that pit being a problem for so long. Buys his team all the time in the world to rotate in and support him anyway, and somehow this ends up as a 2v3 despite his 2 frags. I don't know how we got here, but I'll tell you what, I enjoyed it. That was a fun ride. Somehow dancing behind that smoke for an extended period of time. And Ponalone knows something's up. Didn't spot anything towards mid. Both players retreating back towards their bomb sites respectively. Working this up long as Skadoodle. And the cross smokes come out, the maulers come in. First frag goes away at Ponalone. That's Kiro to fall, and now it's Crashies and Skadoodle versus Kohler, who is rotating through the CT spawn area. Utility being expended very quickly, but they don't really know where he could be. I mean, obviously he's a B rotator at this point, so a long flank is a possibility. Skadoodle cannot retreat there. A ramp, Crashies, first to fall, first to face the AUG of Kohler, who expects Skadoodle over there towards long, but unless he's towards Goose, and there it is.
Expect the unexpected.
9-3. The Noodle Bears back at it again.
The Doodle Bears. They've just gone back down to Doodle Bears. They've been cutting off. They were adding a word around. Now they've been cutting off a word around.
You know what? I just thought that'd be clever.
Production's
Next time they start doing smack talk, they're the Roodle Bears. What? Okay.
Roodle Bears.
9-3.
All right, you get that one in the pocket for later.
I'm leaving. I'm seeing myself out.
9-3.
DJ, who's been playing much better throughout the weekend there.
He's been great.
Finding some confidence. Kohler facing a hard V-rush, finds no bullets connecting. Bonalone forced into a retake spot, but finds one on the cross. Can he get another? Smokes come in. No wall bangs are found, but I'm wondering, when is that smoke going to come in? I called it, but finally it does bloom. There it is. Ponalone with another absolutely huge off kills. That's what I mean by Ponalone towards B. Yesterday we saw it in good fashion several times coming up huge for the Cobb Goblins. I don't know if it'll be enough in this round, though.
It's tough. Once that B site falls, it's just so very hard to get past. And you're seeing Scott just hold this angle. Misses that shot. Not quite sure how that went astray, but that gives opportunity at the very least. The problem is losing that window presence means that the odds of Hazed being able to get through this door, minimal. Out the tunnel, onto site, minimal at best. He's going to go ahead and fall away. Just make sure no one can really hunt him. Keep this gun alive to go forward. It's going to be double digits now for the Noodle Bears on their T side. Very strong performance here on. They are just growing.
Yeah, I mean, we're at 10-3 now. This is looking a little rough for the Goblins. I mean, we expected, I think, them to go 2-1 at the beginning of this series. Obviously, predictions are meant to be broken, right? And Noodle Bears with a huge Inferno game with some phenomenal play. It's no mystery, I think, to either of us that they're playing as well as they have been.
I don't know if I've correctly predicted anything this entire tournament.
That's
so,
okay.
you know,
That's
we're
not
just
really what we're here for.
That's just where we're at right now. Predictions are chaos. Pugs are chaos. Rank S madness is chaos, and we're seeing a lot of chaos so far this game. Crashies in towards the lower tunnel. He's got the closing move there. Here, Kohler's ready for him though, and that's a shot. And an AK retrieved. A second body falls. This round's getting dangerous. And he still has an M4 to play with. He's going to turn that into a frag. This is getting very messy indeed. And the Noodle Bears just bleeding kills. 4 players still up. Lots of guns retrievable. This has just been decimated.
Yeah, I think a couple rounds ago maybe is when they may have benefited a lot by being aggressive and getting in the face of Noodle Bears. But there it is on a force buyer / eco, I guess you could say. Some Deagle frags coming in huge. And suddenly this is 10-4, a very respectable scoreline if you can get this last one. But, you know, so far that stands out to me as a fluke round. We'll see. Noodle Bears, how they respond. MAC-10s, Deagle on Kurokami, and Skadoodle armed with that big green. So not the best utility, not the best weaponry, but they'll make do best they can. 10-4. Scoreline, Cobb Goblins trail here on Dust2, map 3.
Ponalone's going to target close up by the box.
A hot round here in a sec.
Here's the hop, I think. He's looking for it, but he's got to pull off the utility, just persuading him to fade back, and they're racing right past him. Now he's going to the Deagle, finds one, but he's overwhelmed, and that's the B site now awkward. Kohler falls quickly, and that's the site completely fallen. Guns picked up as well, and the Noodle Bears answering back in kind. They got ecoed, now they're looking to do the same. DJ at least gets the flank, so that's Skadoodle out, and the big gun as well. This is now viable for the retake, but still a challenge. Seb, 4 HP and a MAC-10, not the biggest threat, but Booby and Kurokami definitely still here and ready to play. Yeah,
DJ moving in here through B tunnels, misses that molly back 5, but it doesn't really matter. DJ's gonna find that frag underneath default, and now it's Reeds dropping Seb, and it's just Kiro left, and he picks up both.
How does he do that? He didn't even have
armor.
Zero
fear from Carr, just tapping away.
He was glass
Easy
cannon
frags.
with an AUG, back by Carr. How does he pull that through? Kurokami, maybe not the biggest numbers in total, but some of these rounds are just ridiculous.
Straight up won by him. Yeah.
I mean, his numbers are good too right now, 14 and 6. But
next big NAIGL.
I mean, really?
Maybe.
Maybe. We're seeing the birth of a legend right here.
Yeah, who knows? Definitely we're floating his ego enough, so he's going to go home and be like, guys, this is what they said about me. Going to feel good for a while about that. But he deserves it, man. This guy's been playing out of his mind. 11-4. I mean, the scoreline is... That tells the whole story of that half, I guess. I mean, I kept predicting that Cobb Goblins would get aggressive and find the foothold in the half and come back, but didn't happen. Ponalone even tried in that last round to come up big, did you know, when you get caught out that many times in a row from your angles, it's tough to say that you can ask for more than a kill and a leg, but that's all he could muster, even if it is with the Deagle. So that last round going the way of Noodle Bears, and now it's 11-4 in their favor. And moving to their CT side, you got to wonder, Hazed and the boys, the Goblins, do they have what it takes in taking this? Do they have what it takes in this third map to bring it back?
We're going to find out. Got to get it started here, and they're advancing up long very quickly. But there's a lot of CT pistols here ready to shoot back. Unfortunately, a lot of them are blind, and so they are dropping. Crashy's overwhelmed as well. We'll only find one on the round, and Booby is the only player still up. He's going to be making his way up catwalk, but 3 targets to dig out who have now swapped over to USPs and are completely untouched so far. He's just going to have to play like a carnival game, trying to knock heads off, and he's not winning any prizes today. Limp down by the catwalk. It will be the pistol round picked up by the Cobb Goblins, and that is exactly what they needed to get started here.
Yeah, and I know it's kind of we've brought it up a few times. Like, yes, the pistols aren't nearly as important per se. A lot of times we see people go up 2-0 and then lose their momentum. But if nothing else, they didn't really have an opportunity in the last half to kind of build Dust2 map confidence. And here on an anti-eco against a USP save, this is where you start finding your feet, finding your footing, and finding some confidence to be able to make this comeback happen. I think that's more important than the financial ramifications of winning a pistol. So if this becomes 11-6, suddenly that's a much prettier scoreline that's more doable. And definitely within the wheelhouse of Cobb Goblins to bring back. So first kill going the way of Hazed. That's Scott of Fall, captain on captain violence. 11-5 now. Soon to be 11-6 as they cross long and are going to put that bomb down in due time. Cobb Goblins doing just fine in the beginning of this half, and maybe we're speaking a bit too soon by giving high praises to Noodle Bears for bringing this series to where it is now.
To be fair, they have nothing coming into this. I mean, just USPs, right? They're just going to try and do a little bit of damage here. They're moving as a unit to try and steal away a rifle. If they overwhelm Hazed, maybe they can do so, but Hazed has a pretty good angle to defend this. Now he's got a car for cover, so he's just going to be mopping them up, slipping back in towards long. No sense giving a gun away. It's just Crashies who's creeping. Creeping Crashies, trying to catch somebody, but his spot's known, and he's about to be a dead man. Tapping away with the USP. Eventually it'll be the slightly larger pistol in the Deagle that finds him. And it's going to be a 6th round for the Cobb Goblins, and a clean 6th round as well. So they're building that confidence, they're building that bank, they're building that map comfort. We might be seeing a bit of a run back.
Yeah.
Now, we're not going to get to the guns yet for the Noodle Bears, and there's a long road to travel.
I mean, that's what I was alluding to, right? Is that I think Noodle Bears will probably concede a couple rounds to get their own money right, get that loss bonus going.
Get them ops.
And what it allows is kind of what I was referring to in terms of finding your feet and the map confidence or whatever. It's just like, let's see how it feels to hold fast cat, just hold W and plow through the A bomb site, see who we can kill. And there's Kirakami to fall. Immediately, 1 minute and 39 seconds into the round is when first contact is made. 4 kills, make it 5.
Look at how low 3 of those players were, though. This is close. 3 of those players were like 1 Deagle shot out to the body from being dropped. So that eco, while it didn't have any success, it was close to being a very nice one. Not going to happen, though. 7-11 now. I need a Slurpee. And we are going to be getting into the guns, and it's the double up right away. You could see it building from the way the money was being purchased, but Scott and Crashy's both going to be picking up the big green guns, and that was a crucial component of their previous defenses. We'll see if it really rewards them this time as well. Booby looks like he wants to get aggressive. I almost expected him to just charge his own molly with the way he's been playing all weekend.
It's a rank S combine. Do what you feel. Skadoodle opening things up, head stack on cat. My God, this man is going to be a threat on CG side here if he was not on Inferno. And that's the first one to go. 5v4 situation. Crashy's the second off that we feared would be a huge issue for the Cobb Goblins again. Misses his opener, and Skadoodle will actually fall through a random shot through the CT spawn smoke. So this mid to B split suddenly has feet, but Crashy's has other ideas, swapping from that op down to an AK. But it's just what he needed. 2 kills coming out from him. Booby finds the other from behind, and Seb to close it out. Wow, what a hold. That was textbook out of Noodle Bears. If not lackluster from Cobb Goblins. There was that nice kill through the smoke on Kohler, but no utility to speak of to absolutely clear out Crashies, who they thought was possessing an op there. Skadoodle, that's that nice boost that I was referring to. Love to see it, man. He's going to be getting wild, moving towards long now, and I don't see how Cobb Goblins can deal with this.
It's going to be Kohler to try and take first contact, but he's right into an op, and he somehow won the exchange with damage. No kills found as of yet, but now they're moving out. Seb is dropping the frags. They are still out. They're out by the blue dumpster, and Kohler, he will find one before quickly being silenced, and it looks like the Noodle Bears are back in control here. It's all Pone alone, who's 1v4. Never count this man out, especially with 1 minute and 25 seconds to work with. But this is a tall ask. At the very least, he has the bomb on his belt, but he's got a long road to travel to get that planted on either site. And Crashies is going to be looking for him at exactly the position. There's the barrel spotted, and the easy lineup frag. Well done. 13-7. The Noodle Bears now in the driving seat, going to be looking to just shut this down and close out the Cobb Goblins.
It's the same story as Inferno, man. They just do not have an answer for Skadoodle. But then once you think you finally solved it, or at least you know where he is on the map, there's Crashies just walk-peeking something scoped in. And you know what? I don't even know, like, Skadoodle swinging towards pit there and just having the confidence. I mean, I shouldn't doubt somebody with nothing to lose, but, like, hey, he's playing like he's still in top form and better than everybody else in the server. We're really, when you're an opera, that's the attitude you got to have. There's another one pushing off Cat from that fast Cat boost. Reads balls. Skadoodle has another one, another victim to his prey. And a little bit of damage being exchanged, but with just an ump, a flashbang, some armor, and deagles on the way of Cobb Goblins, this is certainly looking like the potential for a 14-7 scoreline here.
How often do you see a glass cannon UMP? Oh, he probably has armor behind it. Just the bomb is covering up the armor. Yeah. That would make a lot more sense. I was questioning everything I knew about the world. But as it is, they've got so little to work with here. They really need the deagles to try and open something up. The UMP is not going to be good until they can close that range, and the utility's just hemming them in. They are just herded and fenced off from the pasture they so desperately crave.
A lot of farm references today.
Booby is great. I mean, you got me started with the 2 maps ago when you talked about the farming equipment. Kirakami, now close up, has some farming equipment of his own, and he's got a smoke just on the other side of which rests a lot of unarmored opponents, but through the gap, they will spot him and pepper him down with many deagle shots. Stuck around just a little bit longer. More out is welcome, and that's a great shot from DJ, so suddenly, this is looking a whole lot more viable. That's an AK picked up as well, and DJ has armor behind it. Never mind.
Crashies recognizing that the map control was his, there for the taking. He just walks back into it. DJ doesn't expect it. Now it's Crashies again coming up huge with his off in the bomb site, and there's just no stopping this man. Okay, maybe there is. Hazed finds one. He could find a bomb plant and a clutch out of this. 10 seconds remain, and there's nobody to stop him. Bomb goes down. Smoke up at the doors, at least, allowing him to maneuver around the bomb site, or at least cast doubt into the minds of the CTs as to where he is. So this double stack position could net him a 1v2, but that flash is perfect. And it almost saves him, but he doesn't come out of it in time. Skadoodle, the 2 captains just had a kiss. They touched faces.
It's a respect kiss.
It's nothing else.
It's a manly respect kiss right there. Yep. Just, I see you.
69 HP remains on Skadoodle, and 2 beautiful frags for 2 beautiful, well done. Skadoodle coming up huge.
14-7 now. They're doubling their scoreline.
I mean, Crashies is at 23-15, and Skadoodle's at 16-14. Top fragging for their teams respectively, or team respectively. And we see a third op on Seb, as one does.
Why not?
Seriously,
why not? Take those initial peaks. I mean, hey.
1 op too many for the bomb site has been working for them so far. Why not continue?
More ops. No problem. Seb trying to hold long with the op. He's getting back to it as well, and there's the kill, so it's rewarded early. Investing in ops seems to be the currency, folks. Bye, bye, bye. Crashies, though, will say goodbye because he's out.
Wow. That, I thought Ponalone was going to get that kill on the DJ, or Ponalone was going to get the kill on a Crashies a little bit early, and it was just aching for peaks. And there's Skadoodle at mid. He whiffs. Kohler capitalizes. And suddenly, there's still 2 players inside this B bomb site. They don't know it, but suddenly the T's have a lot of room to work with out mid. And this is all coming down to Kirakami and Booby to hold, and Kohler falls at mid from Booby's aggressive peek outside of B. And Ponalone finding one on a Booby. 2v2 now, minute to go, plenty of time left on that clock, and it's just a matter of time before Seb hears this towards Catwalk, this play coming up
How has
on
this
the
all
bomb
happened
site.
in a minute?
I don't know. This is very quick round developing. Constant movement from both teams. Both teams seem to want it. The Cobb Goblins are not going out without a fight. But Seb, again, the ops, there's just so many op kills coming out from the Noodle Bears. Constantly.
He's gonna burn down to 25 HP just trying to get out of this position. There's no health on either of these players from the Noodle Bears, but if they can time up this peak, it should work out. He's stuck in towards Goose, and he's trying to battle his way out, but the op's not going to give him the easy peak.
Ooh.
Now the shot rings out from long, so he knows that that is danger close, or rather danger far, and now he's got to deal with the catwalk player. They're moving forward, but he can't hit the shot. It's the pistol to win instead. The defuse comes in, and the Noodle Bears are on match series point.
You know what's crazy about that is Hazed clearly could not have known, but both of those players were so hurt, as you mentioned. They had such low HP. That was a very winnable situation, but he's swinging and hoping for a one-tap on that cat crosser and just doesn't land a single shot. Unfortunate for him, but he gets deleted. 15-7 now. Cobb Goblins on the brink of, like you said, match series point. This is for the grand finals right here.
This is for the grand finals, folks. They will be advancing to take on the team of Sean and the Euros, the Scaries Bears.
And this is just a fast cat play. I mean, I was about to ask. I'm not sure what I would do in this situation, but clearly Hazed has plans. 5 men up at the bricks of Catwalk. 136 in the round. This is unheard of. Kirokami eating a very short flashbang, and it's not enough. You needed a deeper one, and he finds 2 easy frags on Hazed and Kohler, and they think they've been stonewalled when reality is the flash just wasn't good enough. Nevertheless, Skadoodle conceding 2 more kills to Kiro, and Seb closes it out. That's going to be it. Series 2-1.
2-1. The Noodles, after a rough map number 1, battle it back on Inferno, and then they shut it all down on Dust2. That was such a dramatic run from them. Some great fragging. The ops leading the charge without a doubt, but also, very critically, Kirokami coming up huge for his squad in a bunch of very critical rounds. I mean, that was just a delight to watch.
In that last map, didn't he have another nutty round?
He had another nutty round where I'm going to remember, I forget the specifics of it, but it was definitely another Kirokami highlight play. He had the op, he was in car, no armor with an AUG, pokes up and gets 2.
That